A couple cruise influencers got banned for leaving a negative review. And once again, TikTok got another popular item banned on Carnival. And Regent unveiled a ridiculously expensive suite. Cruise news is wild this week. Let's dive in. Our first story today is coming out of Scotland, out of the Firth of Clyde. So a man on board a ferry fell overboard. Now luckily, the crew and rescuers were able to recover him. No other injuries, and he did survive. We're so grateful for that. Usually overboard doesn't end well. Luckily it was a ferry and not a big cruise ship. Our next story is yet again another storm off of the coast of Mexico. So Tropical Storm Erick is on the west coast of Mexico. It's expected to reach hurricane speeds and hit land on Thursday. So if you have a cruise scheduled along the Pacific Mexico route, your cruise could be impacted. This would include stops like Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo San Lucas. So just check with your cruise ship and see if there are any changes. Luckily, we don't have anything in the Atlantic right now. I did just hear somebody on board a cruise said the waves are a little rough in the Caribbean. This is more along the Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, that area. So I'm hoping it's calm waters next week when I'm there. We'll see. Our third story is coming from Carnival. Now, cruise lines watch TikTok and social media, and when influencers post things that violate their rules, the influencers get banned, usually, or could get banned. Now, there was one popular dance that would occur. It's boots on the ground. On Carnival ships, they would get out on the deck, the DJ would play the music, and they did a little dance. And because of this dance, one popular item was banned. See if you can guess what it was. Yes, these little hand fans were banned. Because in the song, there's a part where they clap and it makes noise. I'm not really sure exactly why. I don't think it's the noise. I think it's more, swinging a fan around in a small area, dancing. You could hit someone in the face, poke an eye out. So I kind of get why they don't want that happening. But the way they went about banning it was a little confusing. They said that it was hand fans. And so people wanted clarity. Did you mean portable, like electric small fans that you can just relax with and cool yourself off? So John Heald at first said, no, he's the brand ambassador. He said it was just the electric fan. So it sounds like there was a miscommunication. Like he didn't really understand the policy yet, and he was trying to get the information out as quickly as he could. But he said, yes, it's just portable fans. And then no, it's the hand fans. Oh, they're not banned completely. You just can't have them in a closed area like during a dance. So just no hand fans in a party setting is what they're saying. So you can still bring them on board. It's just sad because that was a song that a lot of people love to do. I haven't seen that myself, but I can understand. It's for safety reasons. Those fans can get wild. And I don't know if somebody did get hurt and that's why they did the ban, or they just saw the video and realized, oh, wow, someone could get hit in the face with one of those fans. We better do something about it, be a little proactive here. So what do you think? Was it overkill to ban the fans? Or do you think Carnival took steps in the right direction for cruise and passenger safety? Let me know what you think. Coming in at number 4, some cruise influencers. Dan and Jay have Sail Away magazine. They also have a YouTube channel where they talk about cruising. They've been on lots of cruises, a lot of different Carnival brands, and they got married on Holland America, and they post a lot of good reviews of Carnival brands, and they have posted a couple bad reviews, but they're trying to be honest. Their most recent review was of the Carnival Miracle, and they just said it was the worst cruise they've ever been on. It was dirty, and they just had a lot of complaints about it. And Carnival did move them to a suite and comped their cruise. So Carnival, I felt, really went above and beyond to try to make them happy. And I'm sure part of the reason they did this was because they are influencers and they have quite a following. Carnival wanted to avoid a negative review by a big influencer. But nonetheless, they left a really bad review. And it isn't the first time that Carnival has comped their room. They did this on a P&O cruise they did about a year ago, and on Holland America as well, maybe more. They got a letter saying that it looks like Carnival's just not going to be able to give them the vacation they're looking for, and so they've been banned from all Carnival brands for 5 years. And then after 5 years, they can revisit this. But it said, this is the final letter. Don't try to negotiate or appeal. This is our final decision, period. And they were shocked because it referenced the review they made of P&O a year ago and nothing about the Carnival Miracle review they just left, which was pretty bad. And so one of the reasons they said that they're doing this is because of the mutual respect clause they have. Carnival felt like there wasn't a mutual respect, that although they did acknowledge the things Carnival had done to try to make up for it, they still were pretty critical of Carnival. And I think Carnival, just after multiple negative reviews like that, even though there were some positive mixed in there, they just felt like this isn't worth it. They can be banned for 5 years while they think about it, and then once they learn their lesson, then they can come back. So this brings up a really good question. Should cruise lines be able to ban people for leaving bad reviews? I understand both sides. They are a business. They've had multiple bad reviews from them, and Carnival wants to protect their brand. And so I'm sure they thought about this. Well, if we ban them, they're going to tell their followers on social media that we banned them. But it's not a lifetime ban. But if we don't ban them, they're going to continue cruising on Carnival brands, and they will probably still leave negative reviews. What hurts the business more? And also they're probably trying to send a message to other influencers not to be too hard on them. So in the light of that information, I just want to say that I love Carnival so much. They're a wonderful brand. I think everybody should go on a Carnival cruise. But in seriousness, I've only been on 2 Carnival cruises. Both of them were on the Conquest, and I did enjoy the cruises. I'm not very critical to begin with, but I thought it was great. I mean, of course, nothing is perfect. I thought we had a great experience. It was very memorable. I'll remember those 2 cruises with Carnival forever. We had a lot of fun. But I know some people have experiences that are not so positive. Like, I mean, there are a lot of kids, and some of them are a little out of control, at 2 o'clock in the morning knocking on your door. But Carnival is taking steps to try to hold parents accountable for stuff like that when it happens. So I think they hear what people are saying, they hear the criticism, they're trying to do better. They're trying to improve the experience for everybody so that they can continue to earn your business. But let me know what you think. This is kind of a hot topic. Influencers, just passengers in general, should be able to express their honest feedback. We all know that negative feedback is left much more often than positive feedback. If you have a great experience, probably nobody knows. If you have a bad experience, you tell everybody. All right, on to story number 5. So starting July 1st, Greece is starting to impose a €20 port fee per passenger. This is in Santorini and Mykonos. So if you're wondering what €20 is in US, it's under $22. It's like between $21 and $22, depending on the exchange rate at the time. So that doesn't really seem like a big deal just for you. But when you think about how many passengers cruise ships take to Greece or to those ports every year, it's millions of dollars for them. Cruises, of course, can pass the fees on to the passengers, but they're very competitive and they want to keep their prices as low as they can to appeal to more people. So Greece says that they're implementing this for infrastructure upgrades and maintenance, and that's usually what they say when they increase fees. I just wonder, if more and more people are stopping there, aren't the current fees already going to increase? Why do we have to increase fees so much? And of course, Greece isn't the only one. Mexico is doing it as well, and there's others that charge fees. So what do cruise lines do about this? Well, if they feel like the fees are excessive, they just cut the number of times they stop there. They won't cut it off completely, but they just won't have as many sailings. They'll find alternative ports that are more cruise friendly. Once they find other ports that passengers really enjoy, they may just cut off these ports with the high fees altogether. And these ports rely on tourism, and they know that they're popular spots, and I think that's why they think they can get away with raising these fees. But if you raise it too high, tourists and passengers are just going to stop coming, and then tourism is such a huge part of the economy that taking that away hurts a lot more than that extra fee would have helped. So if you had an itinerary set up to where you're stopping in both of those ports, Santorini and Mykonos, then that's €40 since it's 2 ports and 2 stops. So keep that in mind. All right, story number 6. So we know that cruise fares range quite a bit in price. You have some indoor cabins that you can get pretty cheap, under $200 a day. And then you go up to the ocean view, the balcony, then you get into the suites. And prices can get up pretty high. You can pay $50,000 for a cruise. Well, Regent has just unveiled their new Skyview Regent Suite. This is on board the Seven Seas Prestige, and it is set to debut next year in 2026. The price tag for this is $25,000. And that's not $25,000 for a week, it's $25,000 a night. Now, for $25,000 a night, you better have some amazing amenities. So it has a private spa, it has a gym, sauna, and of course a butler. It has 2 decks with a wraparound balcony. You get a car and a driver at every port. All excursions are included. You get free-flowing caviar and premium alcohol. You do get a lot included with this, but the price tag, really this is I think it's more of a flex on their part. And then of course, the other side, those that can afford it will definitely want to do it so they can flex as well. So here's my question for you. Would you pay $25,000 a night for a cruise suite, or would you go on 10 cruises? Because that's what it is. I think even if I could afford $25,000 a night, I would take 10 cruises because I like cruising. So that is the cruise news for this week. I'm Jordan with Beyond the Dock. Thanks for sticking around. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and like the video. Leave a comment below with what you think about the stories you talked about today. Let me know your thoughts. I really enjoy reading your comments. I don't know if I'm going to get another video out before I go on this cruise, and I'm not going to release one next week. But once I get back, I'll have a lot of content for you. So if you're curious about Norwegian Aqua, want to subscribe for some upcoming videos. And of course, we have more cruises coming up in the future beyond that. And so we're excited to share that experience, all those experiences with you. It's going to be great. So until next time, we'll see you as we venture beyond the dock. Happy cruising.